Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the world of large language models.
Okay.
Specifically one that was developed in China called KIMI K1.5.
Yeah.
And all this is based on the work of Jörg-Owe who really digs into why this is such a big deal in AI.
Yeah, definitely.
So what is it about KIMI K1.5 that makes it so different from all the other LLMs we hear about?
Well, one of the most interesting things about KIMI K1.5 is that it takes this multimodal approach.
Multimodal.
Yeah. So, most of the LLMs that we hear about are, limited to just text.
Right.
But KIMI K1.5 can process all kinds of different data, like images, along with the text at the same time.
So it's not just reading the text, it's looking at the pictures too and kind of putting those two things together.
Yeah, exactly. It's able to form a much richer understanding of the world.
Like how we learn, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Almost like how we use multiple senses to learn about things.
I see.
And Schneepat also highlights another key difference in the way that KIMI K1.5 is trained.
Yep.
It uses something called a reinforcement learning framework.
Reinforcement learning.
Yeah. So think of it like, imagine that KIMI is learning how to play chess.
Okay.
And every time that it makes a good move, it gets a reward.
Cool.
And so over time, it kind of figures out, which strategies lead to those rewards.
It learns from its mistakes.
Yeah. And that's actually how it tackles these really complex tasks, like writing code or even solving math problems.
Wow, so it's constantly getting better through trial and error.
Exactly.
I see.
And it's pretty impressive what it's able to do.
So how does it actually stack up against some of the other big names in AI? The ones we always hear about.
Well, that's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Schneepat's work actually shows that KIMI K1.5 is outperforming some of these leading models.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Even some of the ones coming from the US.
Okay.
And it's doing this on, certain benchmarks. And it's demonstrating, a level of accuracy in like math and coding that's really surprising a lot of people.
So China's been kind of quietly developing this AI that can hold its own against the giants.
Yeah.
What's the secret sauce here?
Cool.
Did they pour a ton of money into it like some other projects?
So that's actually the really fascinating part.
Really?
Schneepat points out that KIMI K1.5 was actually developed for much less money than a lot of its U.S. counterparts.
Interesting.
Yeah, they've managed to be incredibly efficient. Partly through leveraging open source resources and by using these really innovative training methods.
So not only is it performing well, but it's also more cost effective.
Yeah, exactly.
That's huge.
And this has really big implications for the whole AI landscape.
How so?
Well, because it means that this level of technology could become accessible to a much wider range of companies and researchers.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about how impressive it is and how cost-effective it is.
Yeah.
But let's get down to brass tacks. What can KIMI K1.5 actually do in the real world?
So it's already being used in a variety of different fields.
Okay, like what?
Well, for one, content generation.
Content generation.
So imagine you need to get a blog post written about, let's say, the impact of LLMs on marketing. You could give KIMI K1.5 just a few basic prompts.
Right.
And it could actually generate a pretty comprehensive and well-written article for you.
So it's like having an AI assistant who's always on call.
Exactly.
That's really convenient.
Yeah, it can save you tons of time.
What else can it do?
It's also becoming a really valuable tool for developers.
Right.
It can help with things like debugging code, and it can suggest ways to improve efficiency.
Oh, wow.
And it can even generate little snippets of code for you.
So it's like having an AI partner who's looking over your shoulder and helping you create better software.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got writing and coding. What about something like education?
Yeah, you're right. It's not limited to just those areas.
Right.
In fact, one of the most promising applications is in education.
Okay.
Imagine a world where every student had access to their own personalized AI tutor.
Wow.
That could adapt to their learning style and their pace.
So instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, each student gets a tailor-made learning experience powered by AI.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
KIMI K1.5 can actually be used to create these intelligent tutoring systems.
Oh, wow.
It makes education more engaging, more effective, and more accessible.
That's pretty revolutionary.
Yeah, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Really?
It has so much potential.
Okay, so this is all super impressive. But I am curious about how KIMI K1.5 stacks up against some of the other tools out there.
Okay.
Schneepat mentioned some comparisons with other AI models and search engines. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so Schneppat highlights a comparison with another search tool called DeepSeek.
DeepSeek, okay.
And when they were both tasked with finding very specific information online, KIMI K1.5 consistently did a better job at delivering relevant and accurate results.
So if I'm looking for something specific online, KIMI K1.5 is going to be better at finding it for me.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really good at cutting through the noise.
Right, cutting through the noise.
I'm giving you exactly what you need.
Yeah.
And it's not just about search. Schneppat's research also looked at how KIMI K1.5 performs against other leading AI models.
Like what?
Like Qwen 2.5 Max and DeepSeek R1.
Okay.
And it's actually showing really impressive performance in tasks that require like advanced reasoning and multi-step processing.
Okay.
So, it's really becoming a force to be reckoned with in the world of AI. It's doing really well.
All right. So we've established that KIMI K1.5 is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But where do we go from here? What does the future hold for this technology?
Well, the developers over at Moonshot AI have some pretty ambitious plans.
I bet they do.
Yeah, they're working to enhance the KIMI series even more.
Wow.
Yeah, giving it even more capabilities.
Yeah. So what does that mean for us, for the future of LLMs and AI in general?
Well, I think we can expect to see even more impressive things from KIMI, potentially surpassing even what we see today.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so this is all really fascinating stuff, and I'm sure our listeners are eager to learn more about, the long-term implications of all this.
Yeah.
But for now, let's just take a step back and recap what we've learned so far.
Okay, sounds good.
One of the things that really stood out to me was KIMI K1.5's multimodal capability.
Mm-hmm.
That ability to process all these different types of data at the same time.
Yeah, that's really groundbreaking.
It really opens up a lot of possibilities.
Absolutely. It pushes the boundaries of what's possible with AI.
Right. It's not just about text anymore.
Exactly.
And then we've got its cost effectiveness compared to some of these other leading models.
Yeah.
Which is a really big deal because it makes it more accessible.
Right. Exactly.
And of course, we can't forget about its impressive performance in these really complex tasks like mathematics and coding.
Yeah, that really sets it apart.
Clearly making it a force to be reckoned with in the AI world.
Absolutely.
So as Schneppat's work highlights, all of this is happening at a pace that's really kind of surprising a lot of experts.
Yeah, it's moving quickly.
The implications of this are really far-reaching.
Yeah, we're just starting to explore what's possible.
And we've only just begun to explore them.
Exactly.
We'll continue our deep dive into the world of KIMI K1.5 after a short break, so stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Welcome back. So before the break, we were talking about how KIMI K1.5 is already being used in a bunch of different ways, and how the developers at Moonshot AI have some big plans for its future.
It really is hard to keep up with how fast things are moving. Like we were saying, it's not just some theoretical project anymore. It's already out there making a real impact.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things that I found really interesting in Schneppat's work
was how KIMI K1.5 is changing education.
Yeah, it's pretty groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Schneppat really dives into this concept of personalized learning, where each student would have their own AI tutor that would adjust to their needs and their learning style.
Like a personal tutor who knows exactly what you need.
Yeah, exactly. It's like science fiction becoming reality.
So how is KIMI K1.5 being used to actually create these intelligent tutoring systems?
Well, Schneppat explains how KIMI K1.5 can analyze a student's performance.
Okay.
Figure out where they need help, and then provide feedback and instruction that's targeted to their specific needs.
Okay.
It can even generate practice problems and quizzes that are customized for each student.
So it's not just like pre-programmed lessons. It's constantly adjusting to how the student is doing.
Exactly. It's responding in real time.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it has the potential to totally transform education.
I can only imagine what that would be like for students who maybe don't thrive in a traditional classroom.
Yeah, it could be really beneficial.
But I also wonder about the role of human teachers in all of this.
Right.
What does Schneppat say about that?
Yeah, that's a valid concern, and Schneppat addresses it directly.
Yeah.
He makes it clear that AI shouldn't replace teachers. Right. It's more about giving teachers a powerful tool.
Okay.
Something that can enhance their abilities.
I see.
And free up their time to focus on the things that really require a human touch.
So it's about creating a partnership between teachers and AI.
Exactly. Working together to create the best possible learning experience.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Schneppat also gives some concrete examples of how this partnership could actually work.
Yeah, like the AI could handle things like grading.
Okay.
And providing personalized feedback.
That would save teachers a lot of time.
Exactly. And then the teachers could spend more time on things like, fostering critical thinking skills and encouraging collaboration.
Okay, so that brings up another point that Schneppat touches on, and that's the bigger picture of what all this means for society, especially with China's growing influence in the AI landscape.
Yeah, Schneppat doesn't shy away from those questions.
It's definitely something we need to be talking about.
He acknowledges that China's progress in AI has caused some excitement, but also some concern around the world.
I could see why.
Yeah, there are questions about how this technology will be used, who will control it, and what it means for the balance of power globally.
It's almost like we're stepping into this unknown territory where the lines between science fiction and reality are getting blurred.
Right. The potential benefits are huge, but so are the potential risks.
So what does Schneppat suggest we do?
He really encourages people to think critically about the implications of AI development, not just from a technological perspective, but also from a social and economic and ethical perspective.
It's a call to action for all of us to stay informed and engaged.
Yeah, we all have a role to play in shaping the future of AI.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about what KIMI K1.5 can do and the potential impact it could have. But I'm curious about how it actually works on a technical level.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit about its architecture and design?
Yeah, Schneppat gives a good overview of the technical details.
Okay.
He explains that it's built on something called a transformer-based neural network architecture.
Transformer-based neural network.
Yeah, which basically means it processes information in a way that's similar to the human brain.
So it's not just about brute force computation. It's about mimicking the way our brains work.
Exactly. And that's what allows it to do such amazing things with language.
Schneppat also mentions the importance of data in training KIMI K1.5.
Yes, absolutely.
Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so KIMI K1.5 was trained on this massive data set of text and code.
Okay.
And they were very careful about choosing the data to make sure it had a really broad and diverse knowledge base.
That makes sense.
The quality and quantity of the data are super important for any AI system.
The more data it has, the better it can understand language and the relationships between concepts.
Yeah.
This is all really fascinating. And I feel like we're just scratching the surface.
Yeah, there's so much more to explore.
Before we jump into the future of KIMI K1.5, I think it's worth taking a moment to reflect on what we've learned so far.
Yeah, good idea.
Schneppat's work has given us a lot to think about.
Absolutely.
We've seen how KIMI K1.5 is pushing the boundaries of what AI can do, not just in terms of its technical abilities, but also in how it might change different aspects of our lives.
Exactly.
From education to the global balance of power.
It's a lot to take in.
It really is a reminder that AI isn't some far-off futuristic concept anymore.
Yeah.
It's happening now, and it's shaping our world.
Right now.
As we move into the final part of our deep dive, we're going to be talking about some of the potential future developments in the world of KIMI K1.5 and AI in general.
Sounds good.
So stay tuned for more insights as we continue our exploration of this amazing field. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been talking about KIMI K1.5, this Chinese-developed LLM that's really shaking things up in the AI world. And as we wrap up our exploration, I'm really curious to know where things are headed.
Yeah, that's a question that Schneppat really dives into. He talks about a future where KIMI K1.5 becomes even more powerful and versatile, and one of the key things he points to is the expansion of its multimodal capabilities.
Right, we've already touched on how it can handle text and images, which is already pretty amazing. But what does expanding that even mean? What other kinds of data could it process?
Well, Schneppat suggests that future versions of KIMI K1.5 might be able to integrate audio and video into its understanding of the world. Imagine an AI that can not only read a text about, like a bird singing, but also listen to the bird song and analyze the video footage.
Wow, that's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, it takes multimodal to a whole new level.
So what kind of impact could that have on the real world?
Well, the possibilities are pretty much endless. Schneppat talks about applications in fields like entertainment. Imagine a movie where the AI not only writes the script, but also composes the music and creates the visual effects and even adapts the storyline based on how you're reacting.
So the AI becomes like a co-creator with you almost blurring the lines between the real and the virtual.
Exactly.
And what about outside of entertainment?
Well, Schneppat also talks about how it could revolutionize education.
Yeah.
Imagine a classroom where students can learn about historical events not just by reading about them, but by actually experiencing them through AI-generated simulations that include video and audio and interactive elements.
That's like stepping into a time machine. It would make learning so much more engaging.
Yeah, exactly.
But as KIMI K1.5 gets more powerful, I also can't help but think about the potential downsides, the ethical considerations. Does Schneepat talk about those at all?
He does, and he really stresses the importance of developing and using AI responsibly. He points out that as these systems become more integrated into our lives, we need to be really careful about potential biases and the impact on jobs and the need for transparency and accountability.
It's a good reminder that AI is a really powerful tool, and it can be used for good or for bad, and the decisions we make now are going to have a big impact on the future.
Yeah, Schneepat doesn't pretend to have all the answers, but he wants us to be thinking about these questions and having these conversations.
And that's what we're trying to do here today as we wrap up our deep dive into KIMI K1.5. What's the one thing you hope our listeners will take away from all this?
I think what Schneepat's work really shows us is that the future of AI isn't something that just happens to us. It's something that we're all creating together. It's up to all of us to stay informed and engage and work to make sure that AI is used to benefit humanity as a whole.
Well said. A big thank you to Jörg-Owe Schneepat for his insightful analysis of KIMI K1.5, which really laid the groundwork for our deep dive today. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of AI. Until next time, keep those synapses firing.